Turn music.
Went down for too long. Okay?
What's going on, y'all? We're gonna start the show in just a minute. I appreciate y'all. I just want to rock out to this music for a little bit. Is that okay with y'all? Yo, I just want to say shouts out to Ron Fred. What's up, Ron Fred? Yeah, man, I remember you. What's going on with you, brother? All right, let's cut the music, man. What's going on? What's going on, people? This is your boy Say One's History. You are watching the male's perspective, you guys. Please, please, as always, make sure that you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. That way you can be updated for all cool new content that's coming out. I am checking the chat. So if you want to me to give a shout out, if you want to holler at your boy, do so. Um, I want to talk about a very, very serious topic today. And I know I'm a little late on it, but I wanted to speak on it for a few different reasons, man. And this one really, really hit home for me with this Sha'Cari Richardson airport incident with her boyfriend. And I want to talk about it. And I want to give you a perspective coming from another YouTuber. And I thought his take on it was extremely interesting. But anyway, I'm usually long winded, so I'm gonna keep it short and keep it sweet with you guys. So I want to read this first. I want to read the incident first. So let me actually go into that. This is actually coming from TMZ, and it goes on to say, Sha'Cari Richardson pushed, shoved boyfriend at airport. Surveillance video shows. It goes on to say Sha'Cari Richardson forcefully shoved her boyfriend multiple times during a dispute at an airport last month before appearing to throw something at him. New video obtained by TMZ Sports shows. It goes on also to say the incident took place on July 27th at Seattle Tacoma International Airport in King County, Wash. And you can see in surveillance footage we just got on Olympic gold medalist appeared furious with her partner, Christian Coleman. It says in the clip, Richardson is spotted grabbing Coleman backpack before getting in his face. Coleman seems to try to get away from her, but the track superstar continues to follow him before she eventually pushes him into a wall. Coleman again appeared to try to defuse the situation by turning away from her, but moments later, Richardson can be seen shoving him again. And if you can actually see, try to see a little bit, you can kind of see where that arrow's pointing. I'm going to give you a better take on this here in just a little bit here. That's maybe a little bit more better. So police get involved. They see the whole thing, you guys. And, well, actually, they don't see it. What ends up happening is they watch the surveillance footage showing that Sha'Cari Richardson was pushing him multiple times. And they arrested her. Bet she didn't actually think that was going to happen. Now, here's my take on this. I really think what happened is she is way more famous than her boyfriend, right? You know, everybody who's interested in track and field and the people who don't, like myself, watch track and field, know her to some degree. So this is the way I'm thinking, you guys. I'm thinking when the police came and they realized that they were in some shit, she said, "Oh crap. You know what? I got to get out of this. He's not really popular. He's not going to be in the media. Nobody's going to pay attention to him. Let me go ahead and say that he pushed me or he threw something at me, right?" And she would try to smooth it out with him on the back end. But what ended up happening is the police officers was like, "No, no, 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 no. Not today. Let's look at the footage." Because time and time again, men have been subjugated to prosecution based on what a woman says, and then it comes out and to be full of shit. So now that police officers and the government and judges are finally taking heed to what men have been saying for years now, now they're finally taking an even approach at it and say, hold on, let's check these cameras instead of just taking her word. And what did they find? They find they found out that she was shoving him multiple times. So they said, you know what? Nah, we gonna go ahead and we gonna take your ass to jail. And she was like, what? What? You're gonna take me to jail? And they was like, yeah, we gonna take you to jail. And that's exactly what they did. They wasn't playing. I think it was like domestic violence, like a battery charge, like a fourth degree battery or something like that. Um, yeah. So I just thought that was crazy that she had the gall to actually go and try to say, you know, that basically her boyfriend was the one that was pushing up on her and hitting her. But like I said, you guys, I want to go into this video. I want to play this video for you guys like ASAP here. Because like I said, I run my mouth a lot. And I want to make sure that I keep you guys time in mind here. So let me make sure I
with
line this up
why
perfectly for you guys. And we're going to get into this. And I want you guys to tell me what you think about this because I personally, personally thought this was crazy. But let me know what you think. Let me just put this on really quick. That's what we going to do here. We going to line this up because we ain't doing this. We ain't doing it today. Not today, not today. So let me see. Let's see what we working with. And like I said, you guys, while I'm actually setting this up, please make sure that you guys leave your comments. I am checking them periodically here. And as I say that, shouts out to the bro. What's up with you, Aaron? Um, yeah, he said that situation was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. Now I want to tell you this video that we're about to watch here. I want to give credit where credit is due. So I want to give credit to the Passport OG. Um, Passport OG. He's actually living. I want to say somewhere in Asia. I want to say it's China. He's living in right now. Um, and I watch his content all the time. He has some really good takes. So I lined it up for you guys. Let's go ahead and check it out. Let me know what you think. Let's get it. Do this one more time here. There we go. All right. So refresh, bring it over. All right, let's get it, you guys.
if you are a female who tries to use her gender to get the man you with arrested intentionally? They saw her throwing headphones at the man and everything. But when the police came, she act like it was the other way around.
Right.
I
Hold on. We lost sound for a second. Give me 1 second. I'll get you back in there, you guys. Yeah. So let's just go ahead and start it from the beginning and we get it. There we go. That's just me touching stuff.
Right.
I can't forgive you for that.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like it was just a sucky situation all around. Like, I don't feel as if, like, she should have been arrested. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you know, people have discussions and emotions and stuff like that.
They over here trying their hardest to make sure we don't watch this today, but we gonna watch it.
Everybody, and I'm the type of guy, like, I'm in the business of just, like, extending grace and mercy and love. And I feel as if, like, I don't try to look at obstacles either. Like, I just look at, like, situations like this to just, like, you know, take a step back, analyze.
We gonna get it, you guys.
So you can just be the type of person and the human that God needs you to be for His kingdom and for His glory. And so that's kind of how I look at the situation. And like, and I hate the narrative too of just like, you know what I'm saying, it's so negative. But like I said, it's just like in the state of Seattle, even talking to the cop or whatever, he was just like, it really was nothing I could do. And just like, I understood. But I mean, like I said.
This is interesting. We're having this issue like this.
And I feel like, you know what I'm saying, like we've been able to be like really good teammates like all year. And I hate that narrative too because, you know, us coming together, like we're just two like real dominant personalities. And she's, to me, the best female athlete in the world. Like,
All right, let's see if we can get this going another way. Because it looks like it's going to keep on doing this, you guys.
you know what I'm saying, training setup different than what I've been in the past, like, you know, 10 years in my, you know, track and field career. And
it is always something, I'm telling you guys, for real. When you're doing live streaming, you guys, it is always something. Remember that. But like I say, like I always say, there's more than one way to skin a cat. Now let's see if this.
it's personal with her every day.
There we go. There we go. That's better, you guys. I'm gonna start it from the beginning because I want to get the full effect. So let's go. We shouldn't have any more issues like this now, but let's go.
If you are a female who tries to use her gender to get the man you with arrested intentionally, they saw her throwing headphones at the man and everything. But when the police came, she act like it was the other way around.
Right.
I can't forgive you for that.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like it was just a sucky situation all around. Like, I don't feel as if, like, she should have been arrested. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you know, people have discussions and emotions and stuff like that. And she have, like, things that she need to work on for herself, of course. And so do I, so do you, like, everybody. And I'm the type of guy, like, I'm in the business of just, like, extending grace and mercy and love. And I feel as if, like, I don't try to look at obstacles either. Like, I just look at, like, situations like this to just like, take a step back, analyze yourself mentally, and then just try to see what you can do to be your best self so that you can move forward, so you can just be the type of person and a human that God needs you to be for his kingdom and for his glory. And so that's kind of how I look at the situation. And I hate the narrative too of just like, it's so negative. But like I said, it's just like in the state of Seattle, even talking to the cop or whatever, he was just like, it really was nothing I could do. And just like, I understood. But I mean, like I said, it was just a sucky situation. But she's a human being and a great person. And I feel like, like we've been able to be like really good teammates like all year. And
Now, if you guys haven't put two and two together, this is Sha'Cari Richardson, boyfriend. And what he's essentially trying to do is damage control. He understands the scrutiny that his girlfriend is under. And he's trying to do everything he can by being a good boyfriend and making sure that he is putting a good spin on the situation that happened at this airport with her. But as men, as black men, you and I both know that if the roles were reversed and this man was putting his hands on this woman, there wouldn't be any type of spin that would actually happen. There wouldn't be any situation where this man would be understood. He would be condemned. His track career would probably be over, and he would also probably be in jail. We know this. This is the history, and it's happened so many times. And Passport OG goes in and discusses not only this happening currently like it is now, but where it all came from. And I'm going to let him continue on with his story, but man, it's good. So stick with it, and you'll see exactly where he's going to go with this. But let's keep rolling.
I hate that narrative too because, us coming together, like we're just two like real dominant personalities. And she's, to me, the best female athlete in the world. Like I see it every day. And like, for me in my process, like I just said, like moving training groups, a whole new environment, a whole new, training setup, different than what I've been in the past, like, 10 years of my, track and field career, and transitioning and then still coming back running 9.8 and feeling like I got so much more to give, like that's my path, that's my journey, and like being so up close and personal with her every day, and like I watched this girl like fall on the track like in February, walk it off like it was, like a cramp, but get back up and had to take like a month and a half of just like rehab and trying to come back. And then 3 weeks later, like have a competition and like, like she just has a lot of things going on and like a lot of emotions and forces going on inside of her that like not only I can understand, but nobody can, because she one-on-one and I'm one-on-one too. And so I know everything is happening in God's plan because obviously he's one-on-one, and so that's really the main focus and the thing that I just wanted to say. And I know that like it's been a tough journey for her this year, but she gonna bounce back, and like I said, I see it every day. She's the best female athlete in the world, and she gonna be just fine. She gonna be good, and I'm gonna be good too. So it is what it is.
Women don't just put their hands on men. So what did Christian Coleman do to Sha'Cari Richardson to cause
Listen to this, you guys,
to put her hands on him? That's what I want to know. Stop this cap. You know what I'm saying? Y'all talking about this situation. Yo, hey, listen, man. Women don't be putting their hands on men. Women defend themselves from men. You feel me?
Is that true? Is that really true? Do women not put their hands on men? Are they just defending themselves from men? Because I have personal experiences that would say otherwise. And I'm pretty sure there are many men out there that have experiences like I have as well. But let's continue.
Now, when I saw the headline of Sha'Cari Richardson getting arrested in Seattle for domestic violence, I was like, oh, no, not my girl. Ruining her career so early on when she's already amazing, but she has such a bright future. But then you read the article, and it's just petty relationship stuff. I've always been told, I've never been in a domestic situation, but I've always been told that if the police is called in a domestic situation, somebody's going to jail. Like, one of the two people, if it's not a poly relationship, one of the people in the party, somebody's going to jail. But for Sha'Cari, they were in the airport, or she was in the airport with her boyfriend, and they got into an argument, and she just pushed him in the back. And I guess a police officer saw it, and due to them seeing it, they arrested her for a 4th degree assault charge. I didn't even know there was a 4th degree.
That's what women do, because it's usually a man to put hands on a woman. All right? Because a lot of men don't have emotional intelligence, and they cannot regulate their emotions. And instead of talking through things, they put their hands on women. Okay, so miss me with this nonsense. All right, he obviously did something.
Now, I just have to cut in this particular part right here because this is what bothered me the most about this situation. And although the situation in itself was wrong, I think it actually shines a light on the society that we live in today and that we have been living in for quite some time now. Because what they are essentially doing is the very thing that they say we should not do to women, and that is victim shame. They're putting this man in a situation where he actually has to go and say, no, she didn't do anything. It wasn't her fault. And all these men are actually saying, too, he had to do something to make her hit him. And like I said, if the roles were reversed and this man put his hands on her, it would be a whole different conversation we would be having. But it frustrates me to no end to have this conversation about a woman hitting on a man, and the men are essentially saying that he had to do something to make her feel that way. When how many men have actually had that same talking point for the police? Now, I'm not saying that this is right in any fashion, but if we are to be equal and we are to be in a society where no one is better or perfect or gets preferential treatment than the next, regardless of what gender you are, then it needs to be across the board. Because we know as men that if a man, did something like this to a woman, this would not fly. And because men in America, and particularly black men, know this, and I got to give shots out to the Passport OG because he said this and so eloquently. Because black men know this like intimately, we know that if we put our hands or do anything of the such to a woman, we're going to get in trouble. It makes us probably the best mates. It makes us the best mates. And I'll let the Passport OG go into that. I'm kind of stealing his thunder, but I love the way he actually went into it. So let's continue.
To her that made her hit him. You feel me? That's what he did. So the person that's at fault is Christian Coleman.
It's
You
crazy.
did?
I'm sure for many, if not most of you, your snap reaction to this gentleman making the assumption that Sha'Cari Richardson had to have been baited into that unbecoming reaction because, well, girls are sugar and spice and everything is nice, is you probably think of calling him some kind of name, some SIMP or something like that. But I'm not necessarily interested in his assumption. I'm more interested in the baseline OS. How did we get here to where two gentlemen, before they even saw the evidence, made the same conclusion that, well, it wasn't that big of a deal because, well, she's just a sweet young lady and she would never do anything unbecoming. Well,
don't worry, I'll wait.
We have to go back about 35 years and you'll see where it all started.
When you start dating a guy or are getting married, you would like to think that your sister would be thrilled for you. Well, not the sisters on today's show. They say they hate the men in their sisters' lives. And now I'd like you to meet Stephanie. She says she hates her sister's boyfriend, Mario, because every time they fight, she gets dragged into it. Now, Stephanie, what's wrong with Mario?
There will be some people that will look at the thumbnail of this video and think that I'm crazy for saying that black men are the best men on the planet. But there's one particular property that you're going to notice in this conversation from 1994, 30 years ago, and today in the Sha'Cari Richardson and the Christian Coleman situation. Notice the restraint that black men are having in these situations where, quite simply, most men in most other cultures would not tolerate it.
Well, first of all, I had no problem with Mario and Teresa's relationship when they first started going together. But when Teresa got pregnant, I mean, I know they fought before she got pregnant, and Mario never hit her back. He never hit her back. It was.
That's the important thing to remember, okay? This is where it's starting. Now, pay attention to a couple of things. Of course, the host, Tempest Bledsoe, she's going to have her opinion that's going to be rather slanted, but also listen to the crowd. Listen to what the status quo is for these kinds of relationships where the young lady is touchy-feely, if you want to put it that way, and the gentleman is trying to quail the situation. Notice what the expectations were 30 years ago.
Teresa's kind of aggressive, and and Mario never hit her back, but when Teresa got pregnant, Mario started hitting her back, and that's when I had problems with everything.
You started hitting her back when she was pregnant?
I hit her back all the time. Anytime she hit me, I hit her back. Anybody hit me, I'm gonna hit them back. Don't matter who it is.
Now, of course, as a guy, it's difficult to say this because you don't want to condone any sort of DV, and of course I don't. But if we are equal in society, then we have to get treated equally in these sorts of matters.
Absolutely.
And this gentleman is simply trying to insert this in a society some 30 years ago. And notice the pushback that he's going to get. Because remember, in each circumstance, he is the person reacting, not the person that is acting in the beginning.
No matter what a woman does, I mean, they don't never get to deserve to get hit by a woman.
So wait. You think it's...
So I just want you to take a look at this. Look at the reaction of the crowd when he says that he is taking up arms, essentially, and hitting her back when he is being hit on. Not once is he saying that he's hitting her out of anger. He's hitting her out of frustration. He's hitting her literally out of self-defense. And like he said, Passport OG, I don't condone any of this. These are adults. They shouldn't be putting their hands on either one of each other. But at the same time, what is the consequences for the woman? If she continues to put her hands on this man, what are her consequences? We know what the gentleman's consequences are. What are the woman's? Let's continue.
all right to hit a woman, let alone a pregnant woman?
If she hit me, yeah.
So if you think that that's all right, why don't you just get out of the relationship? Obviously, you don't need to be with...
This is another thing. When they say get out the relationship, right? Okay. How many times have you heard the reverse where a woman is saying, but I love him and I'm going to stay with him and be with him even though he's hitting on me? Now the reverse has happened and the women are telling the men, why don't you just leave? It's crazy to me that we have this dichotomy, but let's keep rolling.
Somebody that's going to hit you. Why don't you just...
Now notice this. Pay attention to this particular dichotomy, because if you change the genders and you make this same argument, you will be canceled.
Right.
Today you'll be canceled. Why didn't you just leave? What were you wearing? Etc. We understand that anyone that is an offender, the actions that you make are not going to excuse the crime that they committed.
Right.
But remember, we have not gotten to gender parity or gender equity yet, because this is essentially what you hear when the shoe is on the other foot. What dress was she wearing? You should have just left. All of that is called victim shaming today. And yet and still, it's on display right here. When we heard in the beginning, the sister said he never hit her back. Every time that it started, it was from her first.
Just leave.
I don't hit her straight up. She hit me first.
It doesn't matter. Why can't you walk away?
This goes back to even when I think about like cousins, like female cousins, that would hit on you when you guys are playing, but you were expected not to hit her back. This goes all the way back to elementary years. Where we're actually teaching young boys to deal with this stuff that is being thrown at them by women. Now, again, I'm not saying that these men, these kids, should be hitting on these girls, but there has to be consequences for these women that feel like they can put their hands on men and there's no consequence for it at all because it continues to happen.
Carrying your child.
Cause she hit me. I'm not gonna walk away. I'm not gonna sit up and get my butt beat all the time. She
Why
gonna
are
hit
you
me.
with a
No.
woman that's hitting you? Maybe.
Ooh, see that? See that? Oh my gosh. It is amazing to see the double standard. If you said this to a woman at that same time 30 years ago, you would be canceled even then. You would be canceled today if you said it to a woman today. But if the man is the victim, what happens? This.
You shouldn't be together.
I love my woman. I love my woman.
Well, if you all are hitting each other.
That's her. I hit her back though.
I mean, there's no comparison between a pregnant woman and an able-bodied man. I don't feel that a man
There's
should be,
never a fair fight between a man and a woman.
I mean, even if she had attacked
It
him.
won't get hit back.
You hear what he said, you guys?
Even if she attacked him, he can hold her and walk away and come back when she calms down.
You know,
There's no
let me clear this
excuse.
up just for 1 second, Mario. I think it's wrong for her to hit you. I don't think anyone should be hitting anyone. But I really think it goes to a completely different level when a man starts laying hands on a woman. Because
If she lay hands on me, it ain't right. So she gonna get hit back.
so you're just gonna be not right too. You're just gonna be as ridiculous and silly as she's being. Is that what you're gonna do?
She hit me, she gonna get hit back. That goes for anybody.
Go ahead.
I have to tell you something, but I don't think it's right. Because when a woman is pregnant, they go through a lot of changes. I mean, a lot.
Well, they should
You know,
check.
maybe it could be because she's pregnant, you know?
She ain't got to hit.
Listen to all these excuses. And I understand that a woman's body changes, you know, when she's pregnant and after she gives birth. I get it. But we are required to control our emotions in all scenarios. Why can't women? Or are we looking at women as children? And I know that sounds crazy to say, and you know, but are we basically saying that women cannot control their emotions to the point to where we just have to accept that they do this stuff? And if that is the case, then why do we give them these responsibilities and these privileges and treat them as adults? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I believe that women are children. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if you are going to expect to be treated like an adult, then you have to act like one. That's all I'm saying. So let's continue on this one.
I think you're.
What are you gonna do? How old is your child?
My son?
Yes.
6 months.
What if your child is 1 and say your child hits you?
It's different. That
How
can't
is that
That
different?
can't compare it to a woman.
Why can't it?
His head don't hurt.
Oh,
A
so this
pregnant
woman
woman's-
is just knocking you to the floor,
He
huh?
don't. Okay, listen. He don't.
It is amazing, is it not? It is a time capsule to the amount of, lack of care for men's issues. If a man is getting battered and he has a child and he wants to stay in that child's life, what choices does he have? If he splits apart, it's going to be extremely difficult for this man to see his son. But if he stays, he's going to have to deal with a young lady who has, quote unquote, happy hands. What is the recipe for him to get what he wants? There is no easy answer.
And I've dealt with women like this before who feel like they can put their hands on you. And I'm not saying that I believe a woman can hurt a man to a degree that a man can hurt a woman. But at the same time, let's not sit here and act like women can't inflict pain and injury on a man. That's just not the way it works. We're human beings. We are both made out of flesh and blood. We all can bleed. we all can end up hurt. We've seen it. We've seen it on so many different occasions. And for a woman to say that he can just get up and go, or he's not going to be affected as to the point to where if a man hit her, it would be different. It just sounds crazy to me. The double standard is just wild. Now, I would never hit my wife. I would never hit a woman. But it doesn't give you the right to put your hands on a man. It just doesn't. And there are some men out there that will look at you and tell you straight up, if you put your hands on me, I'm going to hurt you. Because they come from an upbringing where their mother told them, or their father or a relative told them, if anyone puts their hands on you, to defend yourself. It's essentially what women have been asking for all these years. Equal rights. Well, you have to take the good with the bad.
Because if it goes to court, she's getting that child. And if she starts crying in court, he's going to jail.
He don't know what he doing. He don't know what he doing. She know that's wrong. If she hit me, she gonna get hit back.
Be quiet, don't I? Come on. Go ahead.
It takes a real man to walk away rather than hit her.
Well, it take a real woman not to hit me.
All right. We've gone on about this a lot. Stephanie, I'm going to ask you to tell me specifically what other problems that you see is going on in your...
Hold on. First off, is that the girl from the Cosby Show? It has to be. I'm pretty sure that is. But let's keep going.
This relationship. But before we start that out, let me bring Teresa out here and hear what she has to say about all this. Teresa, please come out and join us.
So this is the woman that's hitting her.
What else is wrong with your sister's relationship in your opinion?
Okay.
Are they twins?
I think that when Teresa and Mario have fights, she takes him back because he'll do stuff like buy nice things. And don't get me wrong, he takes very good care of the baby that they have.
Yes.
But it seems to me like he's trying to buy her love.
To make up for it?
She's gotten, for Christmas he bought her a TV, VCR entertainment set, brand new end tables, gold leather coats. And I mean, that's beautiful. That's really beautiful. But I don't feel that should be used as a compensation for doing some of the wrong things that he did.
Are you just...
This is so...
Now, I want you to pay attention to this particular line of questioning, because she doesn't start the line of questioning with, why are you the aggressor in the relationship? She evades that question very systematically. It goes straight to, is he a good guy?
In this relationship because of what he gives you?
No, I'm in a relationship because I love him.
Why are you in love with the man that you're getting into physical fights with and is hitting you when you're pregnant?
I forgave him for the stuff he did when I was pregnant. Things got better after I had the baby.
But when...
Now notice, the first question was not, why did you hit him before you got pregnant? The question was, why are you in a relationship where you're hitting on each other, which is alluding to the fact that he's the aggressor.
You all are getting into physical fights. You're hitting him and he's hitting you. Where's the love in that? And you're doing it now in front of a child.
We're not really fighting now that the baby's been born. It's more verbal than physical.
Have you ever sought counseling because of this?
No, but Mario had agreed to going to counseling for our problems. Yes, you did.
I'm not going for that.
Not going? No?
It seems like the man and the woman are more on the same page than we originally understood. And it seems like they are here at this show more so because of the sister probably, bringing them into this and giving them a reason to actually come on the show. Like I said, I don't agree with a man or a woman putting their hands on either of each other. But it seems like they are content to work this out.
Okay.
If she hit me, I'm going to hit her back.
So, how not as your sister. If this is the relationship,
That's really not fair, Mario.
No, it's not.
Because he's like what 6'4" and she's what 5'2". That's no comparison. He can be her any day of the week.
If she know it
that's
ain't
no
fair, she should hit
comparison.
me.
That's not
And that should be the end of the argument. Don't hit him, he won't hit you. If he's the aggressor, that's a problem. We understand that part of it. But none of this conversation, even from the sister or from the host, is why don't you stop hitting the man? Instead, the argument is you're a man, you're stronger, you shouldn't be hitting her. So this leads us to where I say black men are really the only men on the planet where we're told that if someone hits you, you're supposed to eat it. Because that's essentially what's being said here. But that age is over.
There are women who are so bold with who they are, they try to send you to jail. I want to talk about Sha'Cari Richardson. So this woman was in the airport with her boyfriend, who was also a track and field star.
I thought she was homosexual.
Well, you know, they switch up.
Right, yeah.
She had a boyfriend. Long story short, they got into a disagreement. She tried to get him arrested in the airport. And the only reason she didn't get him arrested, because when you're in the airport, everything's under surveillance. So when the police looked at what happened, they arrested her.
I honestly do believe that black men are the best men in the world, specifically when it comes to being good mates, because we grow up in an environment where one interaction with the police can change your life. So you live your whole life around that, especially when you're dating someone. Anytime that you get into a kind of confrontation, if you will, at the back of your mind is if this woman starts crying and calls the police, it could change my life. Yeah. And we have to live our lives on that principle that if we have one lapse, it could end with us spending the rest of our life.
Black men essentially have to be perfect all the time. I will give you a personal scenario that I had when I first got my apartment. Dating this girl, had no business dating whatsoever. I'm going to just keep it real with you. That was my fault. But this woman was in my apartment, hitting on me, beating on my chest. I'm sitting there just taking it, dealing with it. Okay? I tell her, you know what? I'm going to call the police. I call the police. I tell the police that this woman is hitting on me. She's in my home, and I want her to leave. Can you send somebody to go pick her up? And they asked me, I have them on speakerphone. They asked me, does she live there? I said, no, she does not live here. She goes, she hears them and she goes, yes, I live here. I live here. My clothes are here. She visited. She stayed for one night. She didn't live there. They took her word and said, well, we can't come out there. We can't come out there because she lives there too. She has her clothes there. I said, well, what happens if I put my hands on her? They said, well, if that happens, then we're going to come out. What do you do as a man in a situation like that? Where the police are literally telling you, we are not going to come out for her putting her hands on you. But if you put your hands on her, we're going to come out and we're going to get you. That is essentially what black men have had to deal with for at least 2 or 3 generations now. Let's continue.
Lives in jail. And so when that is your baseline operating system, you know you have to be gentle no matter what.
After I got this information, I determined in my mind, okay, we done gave her chances. She had a girlfriend. Okay. We still rooting for her because she can run track good. We root for her. She had the allegation. We like, okay, yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Maybe she shouldn't have got kicked off the Olympic team because of that. Right. You know what I'm saying? But This thing here is something that I see too often, where you try and get the male that's with you in trouble with the authorities because you know most of the time you have leverage over the male when you say something's wrong. I don't like people who do that in this society. If you are a female who tries to use her gender to get the man you with arrested intentionally, they saw her throwing headphones at the man and everything. But when the police came, she act like it was the other way around.
Right.
I can't forgive you for that. You can't be given a pass no longer in the eyes of the people who, because this young man could have messed up his career.
Yeah.
He wasn't kicked off the Olympics for weed or nothing like that. But what if he'd have got arrested for a domestic?
Over with.
What if it wasn't no camera around and she was acting like that? Then when the police come,
Right.
she get the playing victim. Can't respect you. Can't respect you. You got out of...
And Corey Holcomb makes such a good point. And I want to speak to this specifically. I want to talk to the women in regards to situations like this. Ladies, if a man, especially in this day and age, and I'm going to go ahead and change my screen so you can see me when I say this because I want to make it clear. If a man sees characteristics in you that would deem you violent, are not able to control your emotions in this day and age, a lot of men are not dealing with women at all that display any characteristics of that nature. And I understand that there is a meter and there are different variations of frustration and anger that women display. And men are different based on how they were brought up. But generally speaking, that meter for men in general to deal with bullshit from women is very low. And the reason why it's so low these days is because it has to be. Men are put at such a disadvantage when it comes to women. We have to make sure we're protecting ourselves. We have to make sure that we're not putting ourselves in situations where somebody may look at something in one way when it was a completely different way. So when men were younger, maybe in their early 30s, early 20s, we would deal with that. We have more patience. But now a lot of men have something to lose. A lot of men are more mature, we're more wiser, and we're just not dealing with it in any way, shape, or form. Okay? These guys are a little bit younger. I know they're famous, especially Sha'Cari Richardson, but they're still younger. And as you grow up, you're going to realize that you're not going to want to put yourself in situations like this. And as that young man grows up, he's going to see that as well, too. It's just unfortunate that he's thrusted into the limelight at this young age. But it's because of the position he's in. So you got to take the good with the bad. But let him continue. Let's let him roll out.
Pocket. You tried to act like somebody else was getting out of pocket. Thank God that brother didn't get in trouble. Brother, I don't know your name. I apologize. I'm talking about y'all business. I don't know your name. But he's a track star type guy. Get away.
Leave.
Get gone.
Yep.
Get gone. That's an unforgivable sin
It is.
when somebody tries to get you jammed up.
If I don't accomplish anything else in this video, I want to accomplish this one feat. This gentleman's name is not Sha'Cari Richardson's boyfriend. His name is Christian Coleman, and he's a very decorated sprinting athlete. He has been participating in indoor-outdoor Olympic sprints, and he has a decorated past of a lot of different accomplishments, which often get glossed over because if you are not a hardcore track and field fan, you're only watching during the Olympics, and that one time out of every 4 years, you think, well, if you're not there, then you're nobody, which is simply not true. That said, a gentleman with a decorated past like Christian Coleman, outside of one particular instance where he missed a drug test, which cost him a chance at the 2020 Olympics, he has no marks on his resume, and he does not deserve to be labeled an ABUSER guy because of hearsay, especially now that we're lucky enough to have cameras. Because if we didn't have cameras, that would have been his career. And we know this. It doesn't matter if you can prove it or not. Once you get labeled the kind of man that this might have labeled him as, you lose endorsements, you probably lose your chance to compete on the national team, and pretty much your life changes on the day that the allegations arise. Luckily enough for him, there are cameras there. But what happens when they aren't? The reason why I say black men in America are the best men in the world is because we have to be. We have to be on guard with our emotions 24/7. We can't lapse because we know that when we make one mistake, someone might start crying and the authorities show up and that's it, we're done. If we are brave enough, like the gentleman on the Tempest Bledsoe show, to push back or fight back, that is playing in the most dangerous waters a man can play in, because one crying phone call to the police, that's it. So when I say black men are the best men in the world, we have no choice but to be. We have to keep our emotions in check. We have to always be thinking of the environment around us. We have to be thinking about the emotional state of the woman we're with and how to let her down easily and how to manage her emotions. These are probably things that other men don't even have to think about. As a matter of fact, in most countries on the planet, when a young lady raises her fist at a man, there are no forces in between him and her to prevent him from responding to her physically, which is the opposite of what happens with black men in America. Even if there is no response by a black man, just a crying phone call, we throw black men in jail for breakfast in America, and we figure out the details later. And so how do black men respond? By controlling our emotions and understanding the women's emotions that we're with. And you cannot tell me that that does make us the best mates on the planet. Thank you.
Again, shouts out to the Passport OG. Love his content here. I'm going to end with this. I think this is just but another reason why a lot of men are actually going overseas and they're choosing not to deal with women over here. I keep saying this. I will sing this until the roosters come home, until the cows come home. I understand that there are different variations of women. I understand that there are different frustration and anger levels of women here in the States. We get it. All women are not horrible women, but to some degree, you have some flaws about you, just like anybody else does. If a man sees that you have small flaws and he thinks that this could be something serious later on, most men that have anything to lose these day and age is just not going to deal with it, And I consider myself a very average man. And if I'm telling you that I don't want to lose a little bit of stuff that I have, I'm sure that there are men out there that have way more than me that are not even going to consider it. With that being said, I appreciate you guys watching. Please make sure that you guys like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. That way you're updated for all cool new content. I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate you guys. Take care. Peace. So what have we learned today? Hopefully something, because I learned that I need to ask you to like and subscribe to this video. It would really help. I mean, you already watched the video. You might as well. Just click it. Click it. Click it. Click it. So what have we learned today? Hopefully something, because I learned that I need to ask you to like and subscribe to this video. It would really help. I mean, you already watched the video. You might as well. Just click it. Click it. Click it. Click it. So what have we learned today? Hopefully something, because I learned that I need to ask you to like and subscribe to this video. It would really help. I mean, you already watched the video. You might as well. Just click it. Click it.
Click it.
Click it. So what have we learned today? Hopefully something, because I learned that I need to ask you to like and subscribe to this video. It would really help. I mean, you already watched the video. You might as well. You know? Just click it. Click it.
Click it.
Click it. So what have we learned today? Hopefully something, because I learned that I need to ask you to like and subscribe to this video. It would really help. I mean, you already watched the video. You might as well. You know? Just click it. Click it.